Marvel Legends, Spider-Man Retro, but not really wave. Ben Reilly, let's get it. What is good, my peeps? It's your Knucker Big Rucker. We're back again with another action figure review. Now we're going to get into a new wave of figures. This being the Spider-Man Retro wave, but not really. And you can see right now what I mean by not really. It's on an old school card back, yes, but it's not the retro wave per se, as in taken for the 90s cartoon. So yeah, it doesn't get the full, true, official retro designation. It is what it is. You see what we got going on in the clamshell. We've got Ben Reilly Spider-Man. He's got an additional set of hands. Doesn't make sense because the additional set of hands is one thwipper and one wall crawling hand. Why couldn't we get a pair of each? Just don't know. You see the design of the card back. So it tells you right there that this is not the traditional retro packaging. Got nice artwork of Ben Reilly there on our left. Here on the rear of the packaging, we've got a digital render of the figure itself. And lo and behold, we have a bio. Haven't seen that in a minute. Ben Reilly Spider-Man, armed with a web-slinging suit and the memories of Peter Parker. Clone Ben Reilly protects New York City as the heroic Spider-Man. And of course, you get that same bio in different languages going all the way down. And that's about the size of it. So we have our Ben Reilly Spider-Man out of the packaging, standing right here in front of us. And first thing to get out the way, this is on the Ultra posable buck. The difference between the Ultra posable buck and the Super posable buck is we get toe articulation this time and better range on the neck with that dumbbell joint, and I'll demonstrate that when I go through the articulation segment with this figure. The second thing that most people probably noticed and are wondering about, probably think it's some sort of a mistake, and that would be the how the spider symbol on Ben's chest is offset. That is no error. That's exactly how it's supposed to be. If you look at any of his comic run, you'll see that that's exactly how it's supposed to be. And yeah, it can be off-putting, but it is what it is. Turning him around to the back to see what's going on back there, the spider symbol is centered, at least on the back there. And you see we've got nice line work for the mesh webbing, looking pretty good there. And they're painted. They're not they're not sculpted in, but they are painted, and they're painted all over the place, and that's pretty good. Taking a measurement of our Ben Reilly Spider-Man, our boy is coming in at 6.5 inches tall, so that's pretty cool. He's got some decent height to him on this new buck. In terms of that articulation that I spoke of, his head can go up that far, so you see they did improve on that dumbbell area. He can look down, yeah, pretty decent, but not. It's not like chin to neck style. You do get pivot there, and of course you can 360 it. In terms of the shoulders, first of all, we'll talk about the butterfly. He can draw back, as you could see, that much. That's pretty cool. Going forward, you get him to let's see if I get him up there so we can see exactly how far forward he can go. You can get him to get his arms. It'd be nice if they could get a little bit closer, but it is what it is. Let's see if I can. I'm doing this off the cuff here, but I think this is this close towards clapping as we could get. So yep, that's about the size of it. So then put them back out, and raising up, you see that we can get 90. We can get 360 with the shoulders. He's got the bicep swivel. He's got double jointed pinless elbows. And the crazy thing is they're pinless, so that means that it looks nice and seamless. I could tell you right now that the arms are molded in red and painted black. How I know that? Look right there. So you got that going on where it connects up at. You've got the wrist hinge and the horizontal swivel at that wrist. In terms of the torso articulation, you have an diaphragm right here, so you can get him to go forward a little bit, that much. He can go back using that diaphragm that much. He can rock it side to side, and you can get your rotation with that diaphragm. He has an inverted ab crunch, so just with the ab crunch alone, he could get that far forward. And when you combine with the diaphragm, he can get almost a 90. He can go back that far. That's crazy. And as far as the legs, the hips, he can do the splits that far out. They don't drop down. That would be a nice addition to this buck. He can get 90 on the leg kick. And back just a little bit. He's got the thigh cut. He's got double jointed pinless knees. See if I can get that secondary joint to go. There we go. Pinless knees, as you can see there. Very nice. He's got the swivel at the top of his boot. He can point his toe that far forward, that far up. He's got ankle pivot. And before I do holes at the peg holes at the bottom of his feet, we will see that he's got toe articulation. And now it's time for our favorite part, holes, peg holes at the bottom of his feet. And so you can see how good this ultra posable spider buck is. Got him blazing a pose. Take note that his knees are not touching the ground. And I'm sure if I worked on it, I could get him to look even more dynamic and natural. Here we have Ben's other costumes that he has worn before. On our left, we have the Scarlet Spider. On our right, we have the Spider-Man suit that he wore when he believed he was Peter Parker. And in fact, they had all of Marveldom fans and the characters within the universe alike thinking that that was the one true Peter Parker at the time. The great thing about having these three figures here for comparison is that they represent the three latest upgrades to Spider-Man. With the Scarlet Spider, we're talking about the Pizza Spidey Buck, and then when you look at the Ben Reilly Spider-Man on our right, which was from a previous retro wave, that's the super posable buck that he's on. And both times with the Pizza Buck and with the super posable, we collectors went crazy because they were all great improvements upon what we were getting previously. And then they did us a step further, and they came up with the ultra posable buck, which is what is representative of the Ben Reilly that's standing right there in the middle. So bringing this review on home, talking about the Marvel Legends Spider-Man retro but not really wave. I think we'll call this the Ben Reilly wave. And my next review will uncover why I want to go with that. But be that as it may, this is a very nice figure for obvious reasons. It's on the Spider-Man Ultra posable buck, so you get lots of options on how to pose. As far as the Ultra buck is concerned, it's a great buck. there can still be some improvements. Like I think if they added drop down hips, that would really go a long way to getting him into some crazy poses. But it's a very nice buck. Just having the toe articulation helps greatly, and the improvement on the dumbbell neck joint has also assisted. So yeah, that's pretty good. This is how we're going to start off this line of reviews with Ben Reilly Spider-Man in his latest Spider-Man outfit. The offset spider symbol is no faux pas. That's the way it's supposed to be, but it is still off-putting. It is what it is. Pretty nice. Anyway, that's how it goes down with our guy Ben Reilly Spider-Man. We've kicked off this wave with Ben Reilly, and we're going to just march on until we get through them all, and that's how it's done.